set up we set up a little emergency charging station, a little emergency power station if we lose power or whatever happens. And I've had all these bits and pieces left over from our boating days. You know, we had some panels that just want to make a note. This is the way I've done it. This is not a how-to. I've had a bunch of these things left over. They're old technology. These are two 85 watt 5 amp panels, and they were taken off a system in BC. So somebody had them set up in their home, and two went on a previous boat, and I kept two of these. And so we needed a stand for them, and I made an adjustable stand out of a couple pallets. The stand didn't cost us anything. I put two hinges on the panels, or on the pallets, and all we have to do is loosen these screws off, go up to this area, and we can adjust it for winter. And then from this is the summer angle. Depends on where you are in the country and in North America how much of an angle you have. The higher the latitudes, the more up and down they'll be. But for here, this seems to be the right angle. And
it being July, August?
Yeah, July, August. In the winter time, we'll readjust and push it.
Yeah. More vertical?
Yeah, more vertical. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think this is a good system, because it just takes a couple pellets, two hinges. I mean, even if you have to buy the hinges, you could buy $4 or $5 hinges and tear a pellet apart, so you got some 2x4s. And it's fairly heavy. It's fairly portable. If you wanted to make it portable, you could just, you could take these things out, slap it down, throw it in a couple guys could throw this in the back of the truck easy. You can move it anywhere you want. And it's expandable. I mean, as many pellets as you want. You hook them together like we built the cabin. You just put splints in here, lay them down, screw them together, and you could do a 50-foot line of them if you wanted to. And it's so cheap to build. I mean, basically, if you get the pellets for free, it's just some screws and
hinges
and a couple hinges for each pellet.
So what about these cables, though?
Well, these cables are just extension cord. These are actually a 12 gauge wire.
Okay. So what are these ends, though?
Well, these here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're just they were on the panels themselves. They're just compression fittings, just to make. There's a rubber gasket in there, and you tighten it, and it just makes it waterproof.
Okay.
Right. And then it just goes. I just buried the cable and into the garage. So we got a ground rod driven in for the grounding of the system, and then I'll show you what we've done on the other side. Basically, it comes in from outside, that same cable. It goes into, this is a charge controller a friend gave me. Shout out JD, thanks JD. And this is Trace equipment. It was good stuff in its day. I mean, it's out of date by 30 years. I mean, there's computer controlled, there's way better stuff out there. But I've had this stuff for years. So this is a charge controller. What I like about it gives you how many amps you're using, and the panels are giving out. Gives you how many watts, 13. Right now it's only on one battery. It's fully charged. Tells us how many amp hours we got in our total amp hours. So we got 6.1 amp hours. So about 6 hours at a rate. I mean, as soon as you start using an inverter or you start using that battery for any reason, that'll drop down. So that goes, this is just a switch for the panels. If I want to disconnect the panels and do some work on it, I can just shut them off. This is it comes out of the charger and goes down to the battery we're using. So it's just a deep cycle, maintenance-free marine battery. that I've had saved, and so it comes down, it charges the battery. It's fully charged now, and then off of the battery, we're running a cigarette lighter. I just hooked a cigarette lighter up to it.
Adapter.
Yeah, so adapter cigarette. Like basically we can charge cell phones and iPads and whatever you want to do. And so in a case of emergency, we don't have any power. It's all fused. And then we have a second system is the inverter. So this can be a charger. You can put 115 volts into it and it will charge the batteries, but I haven't done that. It's just out AC. So you take the battery voltage, you run it through there's a fuse here, 150 amp fuse. This is a disconnect for the inverter. You can turn it on. And it'll go through its, and then you turn it on. Okay, so now the inverter's on. All right. So now we're turning 12 volts into 115 volts. And so the 115 volts out comes up into an old panel that we took out of the house. When we upgraded, this is a 70 amp panel, so it's more than enough. We've got two circuit breakers here, so the system is protected pretty good. But I did it this way so we can put different load centers out. We can put lights up if we want. We can put another outlet in if we want, and we'll just make use of it. So this is the breaker for it. We just run one side, a 115 volt side through this, and it's all grounded to outside. Everything is grounded and safe. And so basically all the inverter does is just gives us the capability, like we can, I'm not sure if this inverter is good for electronic devices, so that's why I've got the 12 volt one there. But some of these inverters don't like electronics, and it screws them up, so we're not quite sure if we can use it. But
So if you plugged a surge suppressor into it first, would that help?
that would probably help, I think. But
Yeah, so there you go.
So that's it. We got a 115 volt LED light, and it's basically being run off of that 12 volt battery there.
Right.
Now, the higher the amperage, the faster that battery will go down. But this whole system is just for an emergency. We lose power, and we've lost power here for a few hours. We wanted to set something up for an emergency. We've got generators. We've got 2 generators, but this doesn't need fuel. It doesn't need anything. It just needs some sun. As long as we get sun, we can run this equipment. See, now if you look at the control over here, the hours, the display, now it's taking 2 amps, and the solar panels are providing 26 watts, and we're getting 13.4 volts. And if you notice that's still a green solid, that means the battery's charged. It starts to blink. Like the longer you run this lamp, that's
The more it'll decrease it.
right.
Right.
Pretty much everything is used material. It's stuff I've collected over the years when we were working on boats. The only really new stuff that I've bought are these 2 boxes. I didn't have boxes. I had the switches. We used some switches left over from the house. It's the gray paint. And I had to buy a new outlet. I didn't have an outlet. So,
Okay, so a couple bucks there.
yeah, basically I've spent $10 on this because I've been squirreling away stuff for years.
So do we have more storage in the house now?
We have more storage in the house.
Well, that'd be good.
But it's only, this whole system is just held back by the battery system.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I went with 4 6-volt batteries, that would give us, this inverter would probably give us up to 30 amps of power for anything we want to do in the house. you know, it would run the furnace for sure. It would run the freezers for sure, and refrigerators. So this inverter is just an old beast. I mean, it was removed because it's not very smart, and you turn it on, and if you were using it as a charger, you'd really have to watch your batteries to make sure, especially flooded batteries. My view on inverters should be disconnected. That's what we've done here. We got a disconnect for it.
Is it inverter or?
It's an inverter.
Okay.
And I disconnect them, and I don't use them as chargers. I always have a standalone charger because they make some really nice smart chargers. And this is a somewhat smart charger up here.
What's that little platform for?
A little shelf. You want to put your cell phone on here,
Oh, I see.
or you want to set your iPad on here and charge it, or set
Okay.
it. It's just a little shelf to put your phone on there.
And that's the connection there for the the charging cable.
Yep, charging cable. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then, so these panels need to be cleaned. I need to clean them. There are some flaws in the panels, but that's why they were taken off of the system in the first place. The people were upgrading. They took these panels off. They're still providing power. You know, I've seen in direct sunlight, I've seen about 7 amps total out of it.
Right.
You know, they should give 5 amps at the ideal situations. But the thing what people don't understand about solar, 3 or 4 hours a day it gives you peak amperage and voltage, but the rest of the day, you know, you're on the fringe. Unless you have a system that follows the sun at the optimum angle, you only get 4 or 5 hours of charging per day.
Right.
And it has to be a sunny day.
Right, and today's an overcast day too.
Today's an overcast day, and you're getting, you know, sometimes we're getting 2 amps. You know, it's still providing something. As long as there's not a big load on it, it'll keep that battery running. You know, and for what we're going to use it for, it's fine. You know.
Which is emergency use.
It's just an emergency use, and that's all we're going to use it for.
Oh, that's good.
So, and it, you know, like basically took a long time to collect all this stuff, and I bartered for some of the stuff. You know, I made brackets and I made stuff for a friend, and he gave me solar panels, and you know, so it didn't cost much to set up.
No, it's good. That's the gist of it. We're always about the cheap.
The cheap. Embrace the cheap.
Yes.